Time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, called Suck Spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to the KVJ show. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Enjoyed yourself.
Oh, I love Mondays, though. I like the weekend, but Mondays is what I live for.
It's good to get back at it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Another week of fun. So everybody had some good times this weekend? Do anything crazy that you haven't done yet for a while?
No.
Or is it all just more of the same?
More of the same. We had Rocco's little birthday party.
Yeah, I saw some of that. Looked great.
It was cute.
Yeah, he had a good time?
He did.
Big old 5-year-old now, huh?
Yeah, he's a whole hand.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So when you show people, you hold the whole hand up.
Yeah.
That's the big stuff.
Half a decade.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's good. You do anything out of the ordinary, Bird?
Not really. It's kind of a boring weekend. I was doing some house hunting. That's getting old real quick.
How many houses have you seen so far?
I've probably seen 6 or 7.
Okay. That's a good number.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
It took, I think, Denny's and his wife Jen, I think they said they were up on 7 or 8 until when they settled on one.
Okay.
Do you remember how many you looked at when you came down here to Florida, or did you just find something that was
I think
available?
I just saw the first one. I'm like, that's good.
I can see that happening.
That'll work.
Perfect.
That's exactly how I picked out my truck. I looked at one truck and said, yep, that's perfect. Gotta go. I'm not going to do that with my house. I'm
Okay.
taking my time with this one.
Okay. Yeah, you said, I know you were talking the other day, you're wondering about bars on the window. Is that a bad sign? Because there's one house that you kind of like, but it had some bars on the window.
Virginia, this house was gorgeous. It had a pool. It had everything I wanted. And the neighborhood seemed nice, but every 6th house seemed to have bars on the windows. But it was sort of a nice neighborhood. So what does that mean? Nice. It looked nice, but sort of alarming.
It could be a transitioning neighborhood. You got to look at a lot of things. You know, look at how people keep their yards. Look at how people keep up with their cars. And just because, I mean, if you buy a really nice house in a really cruddy neighborhood, it may not be the best choice.
Well, my question is, if there are bars on windows, and not every house had that. But we're talking every 6th, 7th, 8th,
Well,
does that automatically make that?
There are bars on a window for really only 2 reasons: to keep people out or to keep someone in, which is creepier.
Keeping someone in, actually.
But either way, it's not a selling point. You don't ever see like, oh, it's got 3 baths, it's got a master tub and bars on the window. Like they don't, put that into the descriptions.
Okay.
It's not a positive selling point.
I understand that. I guess my question was, does it always mean that there's a lot of crime in that neighborhood if there are bars on some of the windows?
There's enough that you feel like you're going to be a random victim of somebody climbing in your window.
So you're only going to be robbed like 1 or 2 times as opposed to like every week.
But that pool, I'm afraid someone's going to steal my pool.
Well, that takes a little effort. That's the only good news about it. A hard to steal pool.
It was such a nice place, though, but I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
A lot of issues. Okay, well, here you go. Back to the normalcy of Monday. Thank y'all for locking in today on the radio 97.9 WRMF and on your YouTube, KVJ TV. You can watch us on your flat screens. You can just dial it up. Got something brand new for you here today as well. It's going to be fun. It is the KVJ Secret Song of the Day. Coming up at 7:30, we're going to give you a secret song that you need to listen for between noon and 2 today. When you hear it, call number 9 gets a 3-day, 2-night stay at the Casa Marina in Key West. It's a beautiful place.
It's a gorgeous place. We've stayed there a few times.
I love it. I would love to go back. I was even trying to talk to the Queen. I'm like, man, we should try to get a trip down there. It'd be great.
Just to get away.
Yeah, just to get away. And unfortunately, I can't win or she can't either. That's the only problem with this. Unless I quit here before 7:30.
Everybody needs a little time away.
You do? Yeah. A lot of people are looking for something different to shake it up. You can't do anything too crazy, so people are trying to figure out something that they could do.
I've been yearning to go on a road trip, kind of like you were talking about, going to like a spring or some kind of a camping kind of a thing. I know it's hot as nards out right now.
Yeah, but a lot of people are doing it. That's really now kind of one of the big problems. Like I was like, oh, I felt like I'd stumbled into a secret. These springs that are all over in northern Florida around the Gainesville area. They've got a bunch of them up there, but then I'm hearing that they're packed. Like I'm not like privy to any kind of knowledge that the rest of the state is not privy to.
Yeah, my boy Bigfoot's talking about this place just outside of Gainesville, where he's saying it's an amazing spring, and but a lot of people are now going there. It was a hidden gem kind of, and now it looks like they're filming Jaws.
Yeah, they say there's a boom in camping right now in the U.S. It's one of the big things. They say the booking services are up 400% from this time last year. And so that's one of the new things that people are doing. They're going out, they're getting RVs, they're doing camping, they're doing all those kind of things that play into social distancing and the great outdoors.
I've gone camping with awesome people and had an unbelievable time, and I've gone camping with people who are not very fun, and it was terrible. It's who you bring. A big part of it's the company.
So is life. So is life. A lot of life is the company. So that's what people are doing. So lock us in today. We'd love to give you a little staycation down to the Keys coming up at 7:30. That's when you got to be here.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Good news. Kanye West has picked his vice president.
Oh, yay. Okay.
I'll tell you coming up in a second who Kanye has picked to run with. Before we get into that, Jada Pinkett Smith over the weekend went on her show, the Red Table Talk series, and set a Facebook record because I guess she admitted to some turmoil in her marriage and some infidelity. Here is a little bit of what that sounded like.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Here she is with her husband, Will Smith.
And we decided...
I was done with your We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time.
That particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah.
As time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely. I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. In the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
I'm gonna get you back.
I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true. 25 years and counting.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Okay. All right. There you go.
I'm confused. How did she make history?
I think on Facebook with the views. So they're saying within 24 hours after it was posted, the 12-minute segment had been viewed more than 15.4 million times, which is a record for the first 24 hours.
So did she... Okay, here's my question. Did Will Smith cheat on her first? Is that why she's broken? I'm confused.
They were whoever did what.
And it sounds like they were taking a break, and they probably both had their fun.
Yeah, because, I mean, what she alluded to there was that, okay.
You're good.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I know what you did. It just didn't go public.
Yeah, you already had your... We just don't know who Will Smith was with. And the only reason why we know who Jada Pinkett Smith was with was because he started talking last week. And so that's why it kind of came up. He was saying, yeah, I had a little relationship going on while she was married to Will Smith. And so they decided to come out and talk about what was going on in their marriage, that they had decided to just, hey, we need to go our separate ways for a while. We won't divorce. And then they were just, entangling with other people.
Entangling, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. Super sad news. I don't know if you saw Kelly Preston passed away.
Weird, huh?
I didn't even know she was battling breast cancer. I guess the family had chosen to keep the fight private.
Yeah.
But Kelly Preston had been battling breast cancer for 2 years and sadly passed away at the age of 57.
Yeah, it was. Her and John Travolta, they have some kids, and her last movie wound up being Gotti that she did with John Travolta. Wow. So, yeah.
And finally, here, Kanye West has picked his vice president. Michelle Tidball is her name.
Tidball?
Tidball.
Tidball.
And I guess she is a biblical life coach that he met out in Wyoming. Yeah, so there you go.
Cool story.
Okay.
Cool story, bro.
She's someone we've never heard of, but he's, I guess, known her for a little bit, and she's been a therapist for over 10 years. That's good. I think it'd be a good thing for Kanye to surround himself with people that have degrees in therapy. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's kind of cute. A 4-year-old has some advice on how to talk to girls.
So we were at the track, and I was just relaxing, and a boy was trying to get me over there, and he said, "Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo," and that's not how you get a girl to get over there. You have to use your manners. And he was saying meow, 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 meow. And why would you do that to a girl? And you don't call girls over like that. Okay, guys? I don't care who I'm talking to, and if I don't know you and it's Janice or my teacher, it would be fine. But if it's a stranger,
Okay. All right, you got to know how to talk to girls.
She don't want no cat calls.
Yeah, no.
I get it.
You don't do any kind of calls.
Use your manners, show respect.
I thought you said you would encourage cat calls at this point in your life, Virginia.
Well, you know, she's a lot younger than me.
Yeah, she's 4. Yeah. I like that call, though.
said, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo.
Okay. That's how you call girls. And this is apparently how you call dolphins, Virginia. I bet you could do this.
So I wanted to see if you're just as good as this woman. She calls this dolphin, the dolphin calls back.
Oh.
This dolphin just kind of like chilling in the water, and she makes some noises, and the dolphin does a response.
Dolphins. You gotta turn to the dolphin now.
Wow. I've never tried it out in practicality.
I personally think your dolphin is better than that woman's. Can you give us...
Hers is higher pitched.
I think yours is more realistic.
Okay.
You gotta turn to the dolphin now.
Now you're just doing Morse code.
Yeah. Don't let her mess up your dolphin.
Hers is higher pitched, but she got a response from a dolphin.
Yeah, but you've never done the work, though. You've
true.
gotten response from dolphins before, the Miami Dolphins, when you were drunk.
That's true. And the response was not positive.
Did you miss an episode of the KVJ Show? No worries. Find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or kvjshow.com.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What are you thinking about today, Jay Bird?
I have a question for y'all and the people who listen to this program.
Okay.
So, over the weekend, and I would say even starting Thursday night, there has been something that goes on, I would say, around 11 p.m. between 1 a.m., and it almost feels like, the best way I can describe it is that there is this hum-like vibration feeling coming from the ground, almost like the neighborhood has a and it's consistent between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. Has it ever happened to you where you're laying in bed and it almost feels like your neighborhood is alive electrically? Does that make sense? Is that weird? Does anybody know what the hell I'm talking about? Is this thing on? Have I once again lost the audience?
I've never had any kind of experience like that.
There is this hum, but it's not coming. It doesn't feel like it's coming from my house. It feels like it's coming from the neighborhood.
It's not air conditioners and things like that?
Definitely not the air conditioner.
Street lights?
It's not. I don't know if it's the street light. I don't know. But it feels like it's bigger than a street light. Like it's a, I don't know, like a grid issue or a, I don't know, a magnetic issue, Virginia. You mean to tell me nobody listening right now has ever had this?
Maybe listening. I have not.
Nobody in here knows what you're talking about.
Nobody out there either.
But we kind of are used to that.
Trust me, nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. What's on your mind, Virginia? I'm out.
I have a question for you guys. So, right about now is the time that we start getting Stars Ball together. Stars Ball usually happens in February, March. So we start putting it together July, August, September, and then, we're full into Stars Ball by October. But a lot of the publications where we would advertise the Stars Ball and start to promote the Stars Ball want us to tell them what we're doing. And we're all just like, I don't know. What are we doing?
Well, they got to know that nobody knows what they're doing. You can't predict what's going to happen in February right now. This is different. It's different.
It's so different. But we all sat down and everybody's like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And we're thinking about doing the Stars Ball virtual style, like actually taking it online where everybody can tune into it, and we'll have pre-produced pieces where we go out and we give the kids their awards and socially distance and all that safe stuff for them. But still do it, just do it online, and maybe we'll get a lot more people that can actually be a part of it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
What do you think?
If it's a backup plan and that's what we're dealing with, and it's your only option, I think it's a great option.
I just don't know, what's going to be open. And then when you think about Little Smiles, we have nothing but immune-compromised kids.
Right.
So could we, within the next year, even think about putting these kids together in any space? No.
Probably not.
It's hard to imagine with what we're seeing right here and right now.
They're all immune compromised and should be protected the most careful.
Yeah.
So you think we could do it virtual? You think it might work?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are just trying to make the best out of a tough situation. So I think that, it's not ideal, but what are the other options?
There are none.
Just not having it.
That's what the other option was, just calling it and not doing it at all. But, eventually Little Smiles is going to run out of money and we're going to be dead broke because there's no money, basically no money coming in. There's a little trickling here and there. Some grants have come in and stuff like that. But 80% of fundraising is off.
You'll probably get more money, honestly, this way. If you do it the right way and it's all prepared and it's easy to donate, because you'll get the big donors that's going to donate anyway, because that's what they're going to do. Then you're going to have the people involved that normally don't do that. I think it's a good idea.
People that could do $5 and $10, but those add up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'd just be kind of a different model to do it. But, that's just it. Everybody's trying to reimagine themselves, reinvent what they do to work into what is happening. You said, too, that you had an update on the Spina bifida baby, the baby that we helped raise the money for so that she could get a procedure to try to correct in the womb the spina bifida that she'd been diagnosed with.
She is looking good, super healthy. Now, she's got another MRI tomorrow, so we could really use some prayers. But look at these pictures. She's chunky and healthy.
Oh, wow. My
and
goodness.
Happy.
Love it.
Isn't that adorable?
That's amazing. So can they tell what any effects are of any spina bifida? Did the surgery, was that successful?
The surgery was successful, but while she's an infant, they still won't know a lot of the long-term stuff. Here she is smiling and laughing.
Oh, how beautiful.
That's an adorable picture.
That cute?
Yeah, that's great. How awesome is that?
Right now, it's more about they had put a shunt in by her brain, and so they're doing an MRI tomorrow to test and make sure that little shunt is doing its job and she's getting normal function. But only time will tell how much, movement she'll be able to have, how much she'll be able to control her normal bodily functions, because all of that is connected to the spina bifida. But she's happy, she's healthy, and she's a chunky monkey. And I think that's just a beautiful thing because our Little Smiles fundraising was done by people just calling into the radio station to raise the money for her.
Yeah, that is great. Is that anything you can post up on our social media?
I did. I asked her mom, is it okay if we post these pictures? And she said yes.
Oh, that's so great.
So let's post them.
That is so great. What I got on my mind here today, I pretty much ride on the keto diet thing, so I've really kind of taken carbs and sugars out of my life.
Boring.
I know. It's so tough, and there are just some things that I miss. If I had to write down some of the foods I miss the most, I miss pizza, ice cream, and French fries.
It's nice to talk to you, Fat Kevin. So early on a Monday.
I know. Those are the top three. Well, I was reminded of because today's National French Fry Day.
I know it is. It's weird that they did it on a Monday, not a Friday. I think they really missed it.
Yeah, I don't know if they set it up for a designated day. Like every year it's on July 13th.
I mean, does it have to be on July 13th if it's French Fry Day?
Know.
I think you could probably...
It should always be on a Friday, right?
Of course it should be.
It makes more sense.
It does.
People want to go out, have some fun, and splurge a little bit. You splurge on a Friday. You get serious about a diet on a Monday.
Yeah, some people do. Some people really find it hard to get serious on a Monday. Tuesday's more of a diet day.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, you need the Monday to go in there with the mind frame of I'm gonna get this diet. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
And then you also need
and then
to
fail.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to pencil that in.
Okay. Mentally, you think you will, and then you know you're going to fail. Yeah, there are a couple of fry deals going on in different places. There is one at McDonald's. You can get a free medium fry at McDonald's today, to let you know.
They've got the best French fries in the game.
Pretty solid, but there are a lot of places that before I went on keto that I'd really noticed were stepping up their fry game, and I was just like, man, the varieties were great. It was so good. Like, I really could live a lot on probably those three food items: pizza, fries, and ice cream. I could happily live on.
Before I lost some weight, that's what I was living on. That was my quarantine diet: pizza, French fries, ice cream, throw in some tater tots and some macaroons.
Yeah, and you see what happens.
Oh man, the back fat, Virginia.
It's tough. Yeah, it packs the pounds on you, but I want to give you that heads up. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, Disney opened up over the weekend. How exactly did that go? They had some things that were good and some things that weren't so good. I'll let you know the good and the bad of the Disney opening over the weekend coming up next.
Check out Kvj TV on YouTube or just log on to kvjshow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Well, Disney finally opened up over the weekend, and from what I can understand, it wasn't too insane. The crowds were, I don't know if minimal is the right word, but it wasn't the Disney that you typically see with the crowds and the lines.
I think you had to, make reservations, right? Like, they're not just, opening up the floodgates and saying, come on in, everybody.
Well, it was a little bit different. They still sold day of tickets. They were $125 a pop for Saturday.
Could you walk up and buy one?
Yeah, I believe that you could go up and get tickets. If some of the issues that had happened was early Saturday, the first guest arrived, had to stand in a long line for guest relations, apparently because of some problems with the electronic tickets that they had. So I'm not sure exactly how the ticketing went. I think they were trying to figure it out. They still sold the day of tickets for $125 on Saturday, and some people were upset because they said they'd invested $900 or more on their annual passes and they still couldn't get in. So there were some problems with the lines and people getting in, trying a new situation. So that was a little bit of a challenge, some of the early problems that were on. The rest seemed to be okay. The only other issue was there was a horse that was carrying one of the Disney princesses. Merida, I guess, is a Disney princess.
Yes.
And it was this girl on horse, and one of them fun little Disney balloons got loose and got tangled around the back leg of the horse, and the horse started to freak out.
Oh, no.
And the horse is trying to throw the princess off of it. And
oh, no.
They luckily had two handlers, and she looked like she knew how to ride. She was pretty spry, and she was able to leap off the horse. And it was one of the big ones. And I'd say it was a Clydesdale, but it was Clydesdale looking. I know nothing about horses, but it was a bigger style of horse. And she got off of it, and this thing was just kind of, you didn't know what this horse was going to do. Is he going to rear up? Is he going to kick?
They have a bunch of horses walking around Disney. What about the horse poop problem? Do they have someone that cleans that up immediately, I'd imagine?
Yes, they do. All parades do that now. They don't just leave Doogie in the street.
But you got to be pretty quick. They probably have somebody ready to go just looking for horse poop.
Yeah, there's also like a little bag they can put right on the horse's butt that catches it.
Yeah.
I've seen it done a bunch of ways.
Poo bag.
It's not a good look for the horse. I'm sure he hates it.
I'm sure he does.
That guy's really? I mean, come on.
Guys, I got to carry around my own poo, and it's hitting my leg.
And I got to do this publicly?
I'm sure he's not a fan.
The lines this day were pretty good. Like a trip on Space Mountain just had a 15-minute wait by the afternoon.
That is really good.
Yeah. So that was one of the benefits of going. And they say that throughout most of the day, the most popular attractions posted just a 30-minute wait time or less. So that was the good thing about Disney. Everybody there, it looked like from the photos I saw, had a mask. They did get that typical Orlando afternoon thunderstorm, so it did rain pretty hard, at least on Saturday. They say that some of the restaurants had a smattering of stores that were open, some were closed, and that probably just because of the crowds. And the kids can't run up and hug Mickey or run up to Princess Elsa and give her a hug. So that's some of the things, like you cannot break those distancing barriers.
But is Mickey really going to block a kid? If a kid breaks through and grabs hold of Mickey,
I don't think they let you
push
near
the kid off?
I don't know how they're transporting him around the park, because you would think a kid might walk up, but I think they have handlers around them that are trying to keep them away from.
Yeah.
The mouse has got security.
Oh, yeah, he always does.
Well, maybe they have him on a float and they don't have him like.
I think that seems to be it,
Yeah. Because if he's on the ground, kids are going to break loose and try to hug him.
I guess you're right. You would need security all the time if you're the mouse. If you're just walking around, kids are going to go ape poop.
They always have security on them.
And they had things labeled out where you had to stay 6 feet apart. And they say, for the most part, everybody was doing okay. Like, nobody did that. I'm not wearing a mask. And,
if you're going to Disney to prove a point.
Yeah, and then they had to tase them and drag them out. None of those stories happened, thankfully. So that seemed like everybody was pretty well behaved for one went down at Disney this weekend. They did say here on the ticketing, there's a limited supply of advanced reservations distributed to pass holders, but that ran out by 7 a.m. the day that Disney issued them. So I think there were some day of, but if you weren't there before 7 a.m., you didn't get one.
Got it.
So that's kind of how it went down. So, it's open and it's cranking. So there you go. I guess we'll see what happens. Now, the big story is obviously everything's because of coronavirus, and you probably saw the headlines yesterday about the number of cases that we had set a record for the United States. And I guess the rest of the world. I'm not sure.
Look, I see
We're the top dog.
I think we are the top dog, and I saw your tweets all weekend. Kev gives Corona updates on his Twitter.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, my boy was mixing it up with some people. Some people were going after Kev on Twitter. Kev was giving it right back. I like it.
Well, yeah, because the reason for that, this is everything that I've said. I don't like the fact, I don't like on social media where people come out and try to shame you right away and they try to shut down conversation. And there was a video that I saw of a guy that is a state senator and a surgeon out of Arizona. And he brought up something about masks and microns and all that kind of stuff. And somebody said, and I was asking questions saying, hey, is anybody in the medical professional? What are your thoughts on this? Because I want to get some information. I think social media is a great tool to try to get some information. Give me some thoughts on this. And somebody's like, you're a public figure and should not share videos that you don't fully understand. I'm like going, well, where am I supposed to get answers from?
Show me the one person in this world right now that fully understands coronavirus, too.
Yeah.
Good luck finding that guy.
And I said, if you read this thread, there was some really good information. I said, every time I post, I said, I am wearing a mask. I'm abiding by that. So I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to get some more information to fully understand this a little bit better. And the comments that people gave me were very helpful. And then, one person jumps in and is like, oh, shame on you. Cancel Kevin. And so, that was the kind of thing.
Send me their name.
Well, they're on there. You can go see it.
I actually think I think you called her back out, and I think she deleted her comment. That happens sometimes where sometimes you'll post something and people don't think we read the comments or we'll answer back.
Yeah.
And they're kind of shocked that we're answering back to a clapback, and then they delete their post.
And it wasn't wasn't harsh. I just told her, I said, look, this is a discussion. I'm not coming out here saying this is it and don't wear masks or do wear masks. I just said, here's some information that some people in the medical community are saying. I'd like to have a discussion about this. And I've always told you that the problem with America is we can't discuss anything because people get all upset and they start screaming and they start hurling insults. There were no insults. There was no screaming. It was just like, look, I'm not going to have somebody shut down my dialogue on here because you're trying to be the Twitter police.
I want to learn.
Yes.
And you should too.
Right.
Because none of us have this thing figured out.
Here's my first retraction of the week. She did not delete it. It says, don't share videos that you don't understand. It's incredibly dangerous. You are a local public figure with a large following. You have the ability to get these answers from professionals. You don't need Twitter to explain it to you. Wear a mask for the safety of your community.
I don't have. Does she think I have like professionals in my pocket that are experts on coronavirus that I can just speed dial?
Sit down, Lindsay.
I just love when somebody says, don't share videos. How dare you?
And then what did I say to her?
He comes back with, I believe that social media should be a forum for discussion and exchange of information. I got the answers. I looked from the discussion. If anyone reads the thread, hopefully they will learn what I did too. And then she comes back with,
yeah.
Everybody is so upset. You can't just try to learn and you can't just try to figure stuff out anymore. You can't have a discussion anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just so upset and
like
ready to fight.
And you know what? And we shouldn't allow those people who want to come out and with a lot of noise try to make you feel bad and shame you. We shouldn't allow that to happen.
No.
And I did. And that was her thing. And I'm like, no, you're not going to shut down my discussion. I'm not going to delete my tweet. I'm having a discussion and I'm learning things about this COVID. Yeah, I probably should have stayed awake in biology class in high school, but I didn't. So now I got to learn the lesson on Twitter.
And you're asking for medical professionals to chime in. These are the people that know the most. You want to hear what they think about.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
I don't know. Hashtag cancel Kevin Ralston starting the trend.
I was waiting for Bird to throw that out. Anytime somebody goes after Jay Bird, I go, cancel the Bird.
I'm trying to cancel all y'all.
Yeah, and if you follow me on Twitter, in fact, I thought I was going to take a break on Saturday. Somebody was like, hey, where are the numbers? I was like, oh, boy. All I'm doing is just reporting what I am seeing, and I'm trying to make it easier to see and to understand, to simplify it. So I'm not, any expert on this stuff. I'm just trying to understand the numbers myself.
Kevin gets into fights with people about COVID. I got into a fight with somebody because they said, damn, Bird, you're aging so terrible. So I went after them. Then we started getting into a fight. It was great.
Okay.
Where are you at, Sanicki? You've been quiet.
I don't know. I was fighting with somebody about something on Twitter.
Everybody's got to have their fight.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. Like, that's how much I don't care. Like, I like to fight and then leave.
I kind of like a rock and roll Lippy on social media. I like a Lippy Ralston.
Well, I'm not Lippy. I'm just telling her to be like, look, I know you're trying to get me to delete this and not have this conversation, but no.
Makes me feel good. I'm not the only one getting Lippy.
Oh, I tried to fight you.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
I surrendered to you. I agreed with everything. I did the 8 Mile. I agree with you, Virginia.
She's right. I do suck. I'm like, okay, here's somebody playing the sad sack role.
It works, though.
People got all worried about him because they're like, oh, Jay Bird, are you okay? No, you're not a loser.
The witch came out at me publicly, so I'm like, yeah, you're right. I do suck. I was like, Bird, you okay?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, you did roll over.
That's right.
Rolled over too quick.
It was a tactic.
Let's have some fun.
It was a strategy. It worked.
Don't be a little bee. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, so here are the ins and outs, the numbers from yesterday. There was a record of 15,300 cases from yesterday reported. But there are a lot of things to look at for this. One is the amount of tests that they did. There was a record 142,981 tests, and the previous record before that was 95,000 plus on July 9th. So they did the most tests ever, so they get the most cases. The positivity rate was the lowest it's been in 2 weeks. It was 11.25. 248 new hospitalizations, 45 new deaths, which broke a 3-day streak of 90 plus.
Positive K.
There you go. So that is your positives that had gone on there. Florida had never seen more than 300 new hospitalizations in a day for COVID-19 until July, and there have been 7 already this month. That is kind of the issue is a lot of new people with COVID apparently are going into hospitals. But yeah, there's all kinds of issues about the numbers. I mean, I even saw a report today about Florida may have inflated the recent record by as much as 30%. So they can't seem to get on the right page as far as like what are numbers, what are not numbers.
30%? That's huge.
Yeah, that's why, like I told you, the only thing that I don't know how many of the numbers I truly believe, but I'm most concerned about deaths and hospitalizations. So, and I feel like those might possibly be about the most accurate numbers that you can get. The rest of it, I'm not really even so sure about. So, yeah, that was kind of the headline on it. They did have a couple of people from South Florida on CBS's Face the Nation yesterday. They had the president and CEO of Advent Health, Terry Shaw's his name, and kind of give you an idea of what we're looking like with coronavirus. He said that the peak of the hospitalizations in Florida are going to be sometime in front of us in July. So it seems like, okay, we might be hitting an arc where it's going to be high, and then hopefully maybe we can start decreasing again.
But everyone had those predictions before, and they were wrong.
The state is requesting a bunch of nurses to come from out of state to come here. My sister at her hospital in New Orleans got a request to go to Miami.
Right.
They're offering nurses $4,500 a week.
Wow.
Extra?
That's their pay.
Got ya.
$4,500 a week to go and work in Miami.
But what's that compared to their normal salary?
A lot more.
It is?
Yeah.
Is that double maybe?
Well, if you do that over 52 weeks, you're making $235,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
That's pretty good.
I can tell you my sister doesn't make anywhere near that in a given year.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's what I've heard is the issue is, one, you got to look at the beds available, the ICU beds, and they can create more. That's why that's kind of the floating number. But yeah, the staff had seemed to be the issue. Do they have enough staff? Because they want to have one nurse per ICU bed. And then on top of it, too, they get kind of tired, as your sister knows.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part
And
of
it's
it.
death, and it's very hard on the soul.
That's just that you're getting more money, but you're also, your psyche takes a hit.
And you're exposed every minute that you're there at work. And there's so many safety protocols to make yourself not catch it, but you do one thing wrong and then you can catch it. And so they live in a high anxiety world.
Sure, and it wears on you.
It wears on them, yes.
And that's why they need that staffing.
I don't know if $4,500 I'd do it. I really don't think I would do it. It's just, I'm not strong enough, first of all, to be a nurse, much less a COVID nurse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if that's your thing, then maybe you're just wired differently. Especially when you got that kind of money.
Yeah, it's big cash.
The good news that the president and CEO of Advent Health had said on Face the Nation yesterday was the length of stay in the ICU for COVID patients has dropped in half. The death rate also has been cut in half since the beginning of the pandemic. They had said they've noticed in their hospitals, they said that the health system's ICU capacities in Florida are currently running at about 85 to 90%. Is the story on that. And the former FDA commissioner, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, he was also on Face the Nation. He believes, too, that we're possibly going to be seeing a peak in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
So you hope, because I know for me, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, is there any end in sight to what's going on here and where are we?
So are we going to just keep on breaking the #1 record? Is that what he's basically saying?
He said that the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to, I think, be strong with coronavirus cases. And then I'm reading into that maybe in 3-4 weeks, we're going to start seeing a dip down and it'll level off.
But who is this Johnny Come-Lately that's saying this?
It is where did I have that? What is his name?
I don't know.
Former FDA commissioner.
Okay.
Yes, that's who it is. I don't know if that gives you credibility or not. It sounds important. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, we got Camp KVJ for you. A nice, cool thing for the kids to do. And we have an actual camp for you and a chance for them to get some candy. Details on the way next. Okay, for week 5 of Camp KVJ, we actually have a camp for you. 1 week of summer camp at the Armory Arts Center for kids age 4 to 17. They're doing all the social distancing and everything that you need as they do ceramics, drawing, jewelry making, painting, photography, and digital media.
Ooh, I would love to make some jewelry.
Yeah.
I got some ideas.
You're too old.
I'm too old to make jewelry.
You're too old for summer camp.
If you would like to send your kids, though, you can go to armoryart.org. That's how you sign up there. So that's one thing you get, 1 week of free camp. And you also get a tour of the bulk candy store to see how candy is made and packaged. Plus, you'll get a special tour discount on candy and over 50 flavors of gourmet popcorn.
Ooh, you get to see how candy's made, like Willy Wonka?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody is very into this prize package.
I am.
Someone is a boy at heart.
I love your enthusiasm.
I am very, very happy.
You're selling it. Okay, so if you would like to get to Camp KVJ for today, just call us up right now, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Got some celebrity birthdays here today, like Ken Jeong is 51. You've also got Harrison Ford turning 78 today, and Patrick Stewart is 80 today.
Wow, Patrick Stewart and Han Solo are that close in age?
2 years, yeah.
That's insane.
I know, right? Also, I got to say happy birthday to Stephanie from Palm Beach Gardens, turning 35 this weekend. Also, happy first birthday to Lucas from Mommy, Daddy, and Brother Chase. And a birthday to my homie Steak Girl, a.k.a. Angela from Anastasia.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
They've been listening to this show for a while.
I love that name, Steak Girl.
She got me steaks back in 2004. She sent them from where she was living.
Aww.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
And she's got the moniker that lives on today, 16 years later.
Steak Girl.
The gift of meat.
Yes. Bianca's on here from Miami. Hello, Bianca.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm excited.
Well, we've got something fun here. Do you have a kid or kids?
I have kids, yes.
Okay, what are their ages?
One's 9 and the other is 17.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, they just age into this. The summer camp at Armory Art Center, drawing, painting, photography, digital media, and you can run them by the bulk candy store, get a tour to see how candy is made, packaged, and you can get some great candy deals yourself, okay?
Oh my God, that sounds like so much fun for them. They're so bored at home right now.
I know, right? These poor kids. I know so many kids are just bored at home. That's what's going on. Well, Bianca, you tell them to have a great Monday, and thanks for calling in, okay?
No, thank you.
Okay, there you go. Another chance to win tomorrow. And if you want more of an adult prize, we got something awesome. We are kicking off today KVJ's Secret Song of the Day. We'll tell you what it is right about 7:30. Then we're not saying it again. You got to listen for it between noon and 2. When you hear it, be calling number 9. You get a 3-day, 2-night stay at the Casa Marina in Key West.
Whoa.
Fancy.
Didn't we stay there before?
We have stayed there multiple times. It's a great property. It is big, too. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want. If you're socially distancing, you want a big spread out resort like the Casa Marina.
That's what you get. So keep listening for that. That's just about 15 minutes away here on the KVJ Show. Coming up next, it is another round of Think Fast. Okay, get that mind ready. We'll play next. Okay, y'all ready to think fast? Virginia is the champ. She's got the cap on right now. Look at that.
She is the champ for this game and the No Name Movie Game champ.
Yeah, she's winning everything.
All the hardware. All I do is win, win, win no matter what.
And she's such a gracious champion.
Uh-huh.
Step it up, losers.
Okay. Let's see how you do here.
Denny's. Let's take down the witch.
All right, Suit's going to help me judge this here. I'm going to give you a category. It is the first person through with a reasonable answer is going to get the point in each round here of Think Fast.
I want it bad, Kevin.
Okay. All right. I can tell. Jabert's sitting in the corner, 10 feet away from his microphone. Can't help but scream.
Because all I do is scream, scream, scream.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, remember the new rule that you get one answer, and if it's deemed then you're out on that round.
He forgot the new rule.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
He seemed a little surprised, didn't he?
Very surprised.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. A bad place to take a first date starting with the letter J.
Jungle.
What'd you say, Virginia?
Jungle.
Jungle. Yeah, that seems right. Yes.
What did you say, Bird?
Jaywalking.
That's not a place.
It's a place. It's a state
That's
of
not
mind.
a place.
State of mind.
Jaywalk. I thought that's what you said.
I love this new rule. This new stupid answer rule.
Yeah.
It's great.
It doesn't qualify. Yes. Okay, Virginia gets the first point here.
I like how Kevin didn't even acknowledge
No,
it.
I'm like, jaywalking is not a place.
I'm going to skip right over you.
Yeah. I'm like, no. What did you say, Virginia? I couldn't hear you because somebody's screaming over you.
Imagine that.
Uh-huh.
When's the new screaming rule going to go into effect?
Oh, you scream, it doesn't count? Oh, boy, that would just ruin his whole game. What would he do then?
I don't have to scream. I can whisper.
I dare you to just whisper your answer.
To play this game like a normal human.
I will not scream. All right, come on, Bert. I'll get close to the microphone.
Okay, this is something you want to be big, but not too big, that starts with the letter D.
Dollars.
What did you say, Jay Bird?
Dong.
I was afraid to answer that one.
Dong.
And what did you say, Virginia?
Dollars.
You don't want it too big.
Right? I don't know. Do we have to give that to Jay Bird?
I think you do.
I mean, technically.
Do we have to take his dong?
I think you do.
I think unfortunately we do, yeah. Okay.
It's mere science. Read up on it.
I guess that works. Okay. All right, Jay Bird's got a point. Okay. Think fast. It is a sport starting with the letter C.
Cornhole.
Denny's very
What
nice.
did you yell?
Yeah, he got right up to the microphone and now screamed. And I brought his level back up, and they just, burst everybody's...
Did you yell, call? Call!
It's challenging.
It's so hard to think.
Okay, all right. I get it. My strategy's a little annoying.
Screaming, call!
Okay, there's a point for everybody across the board here in Think Fast.
Look at this.
Yeah.
We got a barn burner.
Okay, something a teenager sneaks out to do, starting with the letter D.
Drink.
Oh, Virginia knows that one well.
So good.
Wow. Okay, Virginia takes a 1-point lead. Think fast. Something you do in a park, starting with the letter P.
Park! You park at a park!
Picnic.
Picnic.
Yeah, okay, Denny's
Park
is gonna
at
get
a
the
park?
point.
You park at a park and you make out.
You need to leave. Park at a park.
Technically.
Park your ass in the hall. You should be punished.
Denny's has a better answer. We're going to give him the point.
Park at a park.
Okay, tied. Virginia and Denny's. Jaybird with 1. Jaybird, you got to get this or you're eliminated.
It only seems fair.
Okay, something you should never bring on a first date, starting with the letter M.
Mom.
What'd you say, Denny's? Mom?
Mom.
What'd you say, Jaybird?
Men.
I mean,
Mom is what you said? Okay, I think
Mom
Denny's
is
going to get the
good.
point.
All right. Bring a bunch of men and see how that goes.
I think it's the goal for some people.
Yes, it is. Some people are like, yes.
I was really off today.
Yeah. Denny's, you are the winner.
Denny's!
Walk away with it. Very nice.
Hey.
Sweet Denny's.
Move that cap
Here's
on
a
over.
12-pound hat.
Yeah, that thing is definitely kind of heavy. Ooh. Well, Virginia, she had quite a streak of winning, including one I did not see happening. We did the NFL snack draft, the KVJ snack draft that we did, just kind of like the NFL does on Friday, where we each got to draft 3 different snacks. And somehow Virginia won. When she picked charcuterie, I'm like, well, okay, it's too cute. Now, admittedly, my strategy was to try to compete with Jaybird because he's like the snack king, self-proclaimed, loves his snacks. I remember we had the snack draft. I'm like, okay, what were people loving on that? Admittedly, I haven't really delved into the world of snacks, at least those kind, for a while. Virginia goes charcuterie, and she goes with like queso, and she goes with chocolate-covered pretzels. And I'm thinking there's no way she's going to win because the snack draft we had all these other snacks like the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Snickers. And Virginia blew everybody away and finished first.
Yeah. I went fancy. Fancy one.
Wow.
It's the charcuterie. That's what won the thing for her. She won the tournament on charcuterie.
Might have been, but people love the queso too. I saw the responses.
Warm queso
yeah.
just soothes the inner beast.
Yeah.
Warm cheese? You can't beat warm cheese, guys.
So if we ever did the snack draft again, Virginia, I think that we got to change it up because we only put the standard snacks on there.
I would love a redo. I thought about this all weekend long. Many hours were lost of sleep.
The snack pack actually called me over the weekend. They want me to be their new leader.
Yeah. Well, Jaber finished third.
Third out of 3.
And Denny's had, what was it?
Coconut guts.
Yeah.
Oh, I got like death threats over the weekend. You should have seen how many texts were coming in ragging on me for coconut meat.
I tried coconut guts.
Yeah. In the video on Saturday for the movie we watched.
Live on her face. It choked me out. I never recovered. People thought I was so stoned. It was the coconut guts.
It took him out for about 8 minutes.
It did. It dried my trachea.
Yeah, that's tough. I was really surprised. That was his number 1 pick.
I really would love another round, another crack at that.
Yeah, well, in March.
Damn! It's so long.
We'll get back to you.
It's so far, Denny's.
So shocking stuff. If you heard the snack draft on Friday, that was the results that we had.
The main comment I saw was I lost the whole thing on Swiss cake rolls. A lot of people were against that.
I told you when you picked it was going to hurt you.
Damn, the witch was right.
Yeah, did not work out for the bird. All right, coming up here in just a bit, the KVJ Secret Song of the Day is minutes away. We're going to tell you what you need to listen for between noon and 2 today. Call number 9. You get a 3-day, 2-night stay at the Casa Marina in Key West. Don't want to miss out on that. And the latest on pandemic parties, how many ragers have been broken up in South Florida? I got the numbers for you coming up.
Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Oh, how awesome would it be to just shake it up a bit and head to the Keys for a weekend? That's what we got for you. A 3-day, 2-night stay at the Casa Marina in Key West with the KVJ Secret Song of the Day. Now, we're only going to be announcing it once, just a couple minutes after 7:30 each weekday morning. And then you got to listen up for this song between noon and 2 today. When you hear it play, caller number 9 will pick up that 3-day, 2-night stay to the Casa Marina in Key West. Your KVJ Secret Song of the Day is Lady Gaga, Bad Romance. That is your KVJ Secret Song of the Day, Lady Gaga, Bad Romance. And that is the last time we'll be mentioning that. Just got to listen for it now. So make sure you are here because we're not going to be posting or talking about it again. All right. Boy, these pandemic parties, they keep raging on. We were talking a little bit about them on Friday, that one house in North Miami-Dade that they keep raiding is not the only house. Apparently, the Miami PD has responded to 11 pandemic parties in recent months, including 5 in the month of June.
Oh, my.
Yes, they say that the Miami Beach code enforcers have been called 43 times and the police 18 times about some of these parties that have been going on. Now, apparently, the city of Miami shut down 7 venues and parties over the 4th of July weekend for not following the social distancing ordinances. And even in Broward, dispatchers have received more than 170 calls about parties and gatherings that were too large or loud from July 1st to July 6th.
Oh, my.
Uh-huh. And one of the organizers of one July 4th bash said that they pulled off their warehouse rager without police interference, and some 250 people attended. And they're proud to say that nobody was social distancing or wearing masks. So that might explain some of the numbers that we've been having of cases, which is absolutely crazy. If you missed the headline on that. They are doing more testing, but they wound up setting a record for the case numbers yesterday, 15,300.
If you do the math on the incubation period, too, it kind of makes sense with the 4th of July holiday we just had, and a lot of people got together in big groups when maybe it wasn't the best of ideas.
Well, they have a couple stories that go along with that today. If everything is, legit in the stories, there were at least 2 different people that either didn't believe in coronavirus or intentionally. One of them is a person who intentionally went to one of those coronavirus parties to see, what would happen if they got it. somebody in their 30s, and they got it and they died from it.
So that's what I keep on wondering, because I see people either they'll text us in the text chat room or in any of the chat rooms, and they'll say, "This is so fake. COVID is fake." When they say COVID is fake, people who believe it's fake, do they think that, okay, it's completely everyone's making it up, or do they think it's being blown out of proportion?
When someone says COVID is fake, I just think, man, they're stupid. Just because, like, my sister worked in the COVID unit at her hospital for months, and COVID is definitely not fake. Now, here's the thing with COVID, it's getting weaker. This, according to my sister, she said it's getting weaker, but it's more contagious. So less people are dying, but it is catchier.
Okay.
And so especially in areas where you've got a lot of people that are overweight, like in New Orleans, where I'm from, a lot of people that got it died because a lot of people in New Orleans are overweight and don't take as good care of their health because the food is so amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
Damn, Virginia's fat shaming NOLA. Damn.
It is.
Just the truth.
They have Fat Tuesday. It's not their fault.
But I think that it's real. You can get, for some reason, a stronger COVID or a weaker COVID. Some people get it, and it's just like a cold, and they shake it off in a few days. And some people get it, and it just rocks their world, and they could possibly pass away. Like, you don't know what COVID you're going to get.
I just see quite a bit of people calling it a pandemic, and I just want to know, do they think the whole thing's fake, or are they just saying it's being blown out of proportion? That's because some people talk like nobody's had COVID, you're all lying, which that's insane to me.
That is insane.
Yeah, well, it's when the numbers are just all over the place.
Yeah,
you understand where some people are like, I'm not sure what I believe, which I would say I'm in that camp, but I do believe in it. As a virus, I'm just not sure how much of the information we get is accurate. So
yeah,
I think even Florida will admit we're not really sure how much of the information we give you is accurate. So I'm not even sure they would argue with me.
You're right.
I think they'd be like,
you're right.
You're
We don't know what the hell we're
really
doing.
just kind of making this all up as we go. Not really sure about any of it.
Yo, we didn't see this coming.
Yeah, so there you go. The teacher thing is going to be a big deal this week because on Wednesday, that's when the Palm Beach, they meet the school board to decide what they're going to do and what kind of plan is going to happen. They are likely going to go with online-only instruction. That seems to be the way they're leaning from people that have talked to them before they've done the meeting. And I saw this from USA Today. They did a poll, and they said 1 in 5 teachers are unlikely to return to school if classrooms do reopen in the fall. So 20% of teachers may say, I'm not going back. They wouldn't go back if they did.
If I'm like a teacher with type 2 diabetes, there's no way you're getting me back in the classroom. And a lot of teachers are in their 50s or 60s. And I mean, come on. That group is losing a lot.
I have a boring, serious question, but it might be too boring. Never mind. I'll ask it during commercial break. It's kind of boring.
Well, now you've come this far. You've already stopped the show to a grinding halt.
Okay, quickly, if you don't mind, what really is considered a pre-existing condition? Because is it something that, if you have asthma, does that count? If you're somebody that's overweight, if you're somebody that has night terrors, that doesn't sleep well.
I don't think night terrors specifically are listed, but I just watched a thing over the weekend. So high blood pressure, any kind of heart problems, obesity, diabetes, type 2 diabetes specifically, asthma, bronchial issues. Kevin, you're actually high risk.
Yep.
Because you're prone to bronchial issues because of your collapsed lung.
Yeah, I've got a birth defect in my lungs. So.
Dang. Our boy is
pre-existing. Yeah.
He's a pre-existing condition.
This is why I ask. I don't know these things.
Plus, I got a blister and a hangnail.
No, that's what where does it stop with the pre-existing conditions? Really what I'm asking.
Bad attitude is not pre-existing condition.
No, that's what I'm just asking.
Yeah, it's a medical professional she'll probably tell you where the line ends, but all those kind of things that Virginia's talking about. As I've heard about some of the deaths, especially the ones that we've unfortunately had with kids under the age of 18 in the state of Florida, they ran down and each of those kids pretty much had a litany of pre-existing conditions.
I mean, I played ball with a guy back in the day who led the league in middle ear infection. Would that count? Something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't seen
I
ear
told you it was
infection on the list, but that guy should definitely go ask his doctor.
Told you it was boring.
Mm-hmm. Very informative. It was a great question, Jaybird.
Yeah, I don't think it was boring.
All right, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what's going on. I think in Martin County, they're going to be doing a drive-by protest today about possibly putting the kids back in school. So this is the week everybody's kind of really going to voice their opinion as some of the votes and things like that for what is going to happen with schools.
Oh, cool.
That means start happening this week.
We'll get some crazy clips.
I expect we might have a chaotic week. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's good stuff. Let me see. And Michelle had called in here. Yeah, she was talking about the numbers that we had. And there is a question about that today with the 15,300 that there is a story that is out that Florida health officials may have inflated the recent record by as much as 30%.
No.
Yeah, that's according to the analysis of data released by the state's Department of Health. So it has to do with, it's kind of confusing with event dates and other dates that they combine them, and so.
But they're only 50% sure that that's 30% right.
Yeah. So they think that they undercounted thousands of cases between early and mid-June, and now these are backlog cases that we're seeing that are being released. So that's just it. We don't know for sure what's going on with the numbers. That's why I just, stay the course and wear your mask and do your social distancing, and because you're probably not going to get accurate information and realize that.
When you really look at it, numbers always cause a lot of drama. Just think about numbers.
That's why I avoid them.
That's why I don't read calories.
I had some friends, though, reach out to me over the weekend, said, don't come over to our house. We got it. We got the coronas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a good excuse, though, if you don't have it, you just don't want to see somebody. I'm coughing.
Nobody's going to question.
I think I'm like 102. He says, I don't know if I have it, but 2 weeks, leave me alone.
It's real.
Yep. Well, we got some call them outs coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Who do you need to call out? You can let us know, good or bad behavior. We'll set it all right. 877-979-WRMF. Okay, got some call them outs here today. A lot of the call them outs that we've been talking about here recently have to do with people just not doing it right when it comes to trying to keep the numbers of the coronavirus down. Everybody seems to be fighting about that. So
I want to call out Miho, Sweet Denny's.
Oh, what did he do?
Got into a little debate with him over the weekend. He thinks that more people like ranch dressing than ketchup in America, and I'm like, there's no way people. And I know you hate ketchup.
I do hate ketchup, but I understand its power.
It's more people like ketchup.
Amen.
I want to call him out for being so wrong.
Okay.
About condiments.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there.
You're trying to regain your swagger after the snack bracket from Friday?
I have a lot of catching up to do. I got to rebuild my image, my snack image, Virginia.
Yeah. We're trying to get his groove back. Monica in Jupiter, she sent in this call them out, said, I want to call out the old broad who yelled at my husband and I at the Coral Cove Beach. She was parked next to us, and we were strapping our two young kids in their car seats. Apparently, we were taking too long, and when she told us to hurry up, we told her we could take the time that we needed to get our kids in safely. She ended up bringing a police officer over who told her just to get in her car and leave. As we drove away, I rolled down the window and said, sorry that my kid's safety is more important than your precious time management, Karen. Okay.
People are ridiculous. That happens to me all the time. I'm strapping Rocco in, and it's not an easy process. You try to strap in a Rocco. They don't go easy.
Yeah.
It's difficult. First, they drop their gummies, and you got to pick up the gummies, and, oh, my shoe fell off. Then you got to get his shoe back on. Then you got to strap him in, the 3-point harness. Like, that takes a while.
And he's all jacked up on gummies.
And there was a old bee by me the other day trying to pull into a parking spot by the dollar store. And I'm like, lady, what do you want me to do here? That happens all the time.
She yelled at you?
No, but she was just glaring at me. She didn't say nothing, and she's lucky she didn't.
That's just crazy. Where did it come from that everybody is now just trying to shame everybody. Is this a relatively new phenomenon? Is it because of video we're seeing it more often, or is it because of the mask thing that it's happening more frequently?
Two things I think happen. I think the fact that everybody and their mother now has the ability to go live, which was something that was not true 10 years ago. You know, everyone's got a chance to go live. And I think that combined with the technology and just the fact that everyone's got access to social media and a live phone, that's why you're seeing an explosion. Now, if you look at all these videos, everyone's pulling out phones like they're guns. Like it's the wild, wild west of phones. Like, you got a phone? I got a phone. I'm filming you. You're filming me. We're filming each other. That's what's happening now.
Yeah,
it's an explosion of technology.
It is unbelievable, and the mask police is out and full force. It's crazy. We were just walking the other day. I was with my family, and we were outside. It was crazy hot, and so what we were doing is we were walking. It was big, spacious sidewalks, and we're out. Nobody was really around us. Occasionally, somebody would come up, and I had my mask. I'd put it on when I saw somebody, coming towards us walking. Other than that, I wasn't wearing the mask because, like I said, it was hot and it was hard to breathe.
Well, you don't have to if you can socially distance by 6 feet. The law says if you can't, then you have to. But if you can, then you don't have to.
So this guy on a bike comes up and he's on the sidewalk, riding on the sidewalk, and he rides right by my face. He's like, "Wear a mask!" and screams in my face. But he's like 2 feet away from my face, and I'm like, I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, who is this guy?
Well, was he?
I'm like, first off, are you supposed to ride a bicycle on the sidewalk?
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Especially when there's pedestrians.
And then second, I'm thinking,
get on the road. Get off the sidewalk.
Well, I'm just thinking, I'm like, if the whole thing is we don't spread coronavirus, you even with a mask on getting 2 feet away from me and yelling at my face, I've seen the mask tests on that. Something's going to get through. That's why they say 6 feet, because that's what a lot of the masks will protect. So I'm like, thanks, dude.
And you're right. If you add something along like this mask thing coupled with everything else, people are losing their minds with it. Did this happen in West Palm?
Yeah.
Okay, near your house?
No, we were walking kind of along the waterfront. A lot of people were, and I was watching, probably about 25% of the people were wearing masks. And like I said, whenever I was passing somebody, I would put mine on so that, okay, I got my mask there. But yeah, this guy came up so fast on the bike on the sidewalk and then leaned over right in my face, "Wear a mask!" And I'm like, what?
If you're being that aggressive, though, I don't think anybody's going to receive your message well. It's just going to lead to an altercation.
No.
Like, what are you doing? I saw the same thing this morning in 7-Eleven. There was a guy that was ringing up right before me. He had on a mask, but none of the employees at the 7-Eleven right there on Congress and 45th, none of them were wearing a mask. And so the guy in front of me got a little lippy, and he said something to the guy that wasn't wearing a mask. He's like, "Dude, you're not wearing a mask, and you just knuckle bumped that customer, and he's not wearing a mask. What are y'all doing? Y'all are doing it wrong."
What was 7-Eleven's response?
7-Eleven's response was, "Only God can protect me," and it started to be a big fight.
Only God. You didn't film this?
No.
That was your moment.
First of all, I don't have my phone. I don't bring anything when I go in the store. I want to get in and I want to get out, and I don't want any part of being in some area people yelling at each other.
So 7-Eleven said, "God,
only God can protect me from the corona." A mask is not going to do it. It's only God.
That's the t-shirt the guy who's not wearing his mask needs to wear. Only God can protect me. That's your shirt.
Aren't employees that work in a 7-Eleven required to wear
in Broward,
one?
they've got the 311 shame line that you can call up and rat businesses out that aren't doing that.
I'm just going to do it on the radio.
Because they'll get a fine.
I am just happy weird, crazy stuff's happening to y'all when you go out in public, and not just me.
Yeah.
I don't go out much, but damn it, when I did this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, get me out of this drama.
Well, anytime there's a customer yelling and then the employee starts to yell and you're the other customer just kind of watching, it starts to get a little uneasy.
I just want to check out, and can you please not touch my stuff?
Yeah.
That guy, Daniel Maples, is the name of the dude that was at the Fort Myers Costco Wholesale Club. He's the one that yelled about, I'm not wearing a mask or whatever. And, he's like...
Yeah, he got fired from his insurance job.
Yeah, he did. Well, now he's kind of spoken out about it. He said that going into the Costco was kind of like the mob was gathering around me, and I felt threatened.
Whatever, dude. You were the aggressor.
He said, I wanted to remove myself from the situation, and I did. And then they asked him, they said, well, then why did you charge at the person? And he didn't didn't have an answer for that.
He's so full of you know what. That guy was definitely the aggressor. He let it get away from him. Even his wife, who's in the background trying to tell him to calm down, he wouldn't even listen to her.
Yeah, he said after a while wearing a mask, I feel like I'm suffocating. I get claustrophobic, and that's an issue for me. I prefer not to wear the mask. It's something that causes me a lot of distress.
Well, don't go in Costco then. Send your wife by herself.
My favorite thing now with some of these videos is the person's so mad and they're so emotional. They can't stop getting mad. And then the person in
They're trembling. They're so mad.
One of the people in their group notices somebody filming and they're trying to calm down. Like, dude, stop it. You're being filmed. Stop.
You're going to take the whole family down.
That's the new thing. You see somebody trying to let them know, like, you're being filmed right now.
But they can't even see the camera.
No,
they're so mad.
They're so mad.
And we got an email from Only Pink that sent this in, kind of about the cancel culture. And to me, I think there is an interesting dividing line because with this guy, I think there is kind of an accountability culture and then a cancel culture. And I think as we were trying to talk about that last week, I've kind of started to see a little bit more clarity between the two because I do believe in the accountability culture where if you do something like that and your insurance company, they get complaints and they just deem that they don't want to be associated with you anymore, then I think that's fair and that's accountability. But I don't like the cancel culture because he did say that after that he received threatening texts and emails and voicemails. Somebody threatened his son's life. Other people have, doxed him and put his address out online. Those kind of things. That's
a little much.
Exactly.
For what happened.
And there's to me, a clear line between this accountability where, hey, if you mess up, you need to take your medicine. And then hopefully you learn a lesson and then, let them off the mat and continue about with life. Cancel culture seems to be like, no, keep them down. They're done forever.
Well, it's the mob mentality and it's very dangerous. And a lot of times the mob, they start turning on with each other too. So just be careful when you're going after someone's job because it could happen to you.
But this is why I'm just preaching preventative measures before the altercation. KVJ Nation, do not get caught in drama or altercations out in public. But it could be really bad.
But sometimes altercations do happen. Sometimes, is it going to get to a point where someone cuts you off and someone flicks you off that gives you the bird and the person is filmed flipping you the bird and now you lose your job because you flipped the bird? It's getting to that point.
No, and I wouldn't even consider that an altercation. I'm talking about the face-to-face meltdowns that are happening over masks or what have you.
Now,
don't get caught in that. Just don't be a part of that. You can't argue with a person that's silent. If you be silent and remove yourself, you're so much far ahead of the game than these people screaming at each other out in Publix.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
But we do need to divide the line. And I think that, once this guy lost his job and, hey, that was the decision of his insurance company. I'm not saying that's wrong or right, but he's saying now all I'm really asking for is a second chance at a first impression for people to know the real me and not take 15 seconds of my life and turn me into a demon. He had possibly a bad 15 seconds, and it cost him his job. But, at this point, he's trying to hopefully be like, okay, that's not me, and give me a chance to make good.
I mean, what if someone had like a 5-second clip of you at that one bar by the pool table? You're gonna die! Like you freaking out. There's like a 5-second clip of you losing your mind, and someone's like, she should lose her job. She's telling people they should die. See what I'm saying? I don't think you should lose your job for that.
Yeah, I was real drunk.
Oh, see, you see my point?
Yeah, we all have bad moments.
I'm just saying the tone of our world out in public is different right now.
It is.
Don't get caught up in it. Don't get into a screaming match with somebody. If you're wearing a mask and they're not, you just walk the other way. It is not the time to be out there starting discussions of heated nature with people.
I do think you bring up a good point to be kind of almost just preventative. When you go out there, just know some people are set kind of hot right now, and the phone can ruin your life.
It can. Do not get stuck in that, KVJ Nation.
Somebody had
Virginia
sent in.
I am so quiet. I barely go out, but when I do, you don't hear a peep.
Anymore.
One comment in said, there is no such thing as cancel culture. There is free speech. You can say and do as you please, and others can choose never to deal this to you, your company, or your products ever again. The rich and powerful are just upset that the masses can now organize their dissent.
I think it's a debate, and you could have. I think there is cancel culture, but they have a point with everyone's got the right to speak their opinion and say, I don't want to support you and all that. But cancel culture is a real thing because businesses listen to that. And if the mob, even if people aren't mad about it, they see the ball going and they want to be a part of that. And that's what happens. And it's a real thing. But there's sides to both debate. I see what they're trying to say right there.
Yeah, and I do agree with that part. But I do think, and to me, what cancel culture is, for the most part, a lot of times has to deal with individual people who have done something and the penalties are excessive. That to me is what I feel cancel culture is, where it's like, we want an X over your name like you never existed and they won't stop. Yeah, if you want to boycott a company and you want to organize your dissent, that absolutely is great. And I'm all about accountability culture, where if you mess up, you need to be held accountable for that action that you did. But this thing about we're going to ruin your entire life, I feel like that is what cancel culture is. That's my definition of it.
Yeah, and then cancel culture also can be something that's been canceled, and you look back and go, I don't know if that should have been canceled. The mob was speaking real loud. People had a knee-jerk reaction, and then they got canceled, and they look back and go, maybe they shouldn't have been canceled. And that does happen.
Yeah. So there you go. Any thoughts that you have, though, you can always get through to us, 877-979-WRMF.
Follow the KVJ Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at KVJ Show. More KVJ Show now on 97.9 WRMF.
I know in this pandemic era, a lot of people are looking to cut back on money. We got a little bit crazy. The economy was good. So we're just, having a good old time. And now that money's a little bit more tight, you guys say, okay, where's all my money going? Good chance it's actually going to subscriptions. My wife did this recently where she went through all of our list of subscriptions. She's like, what is this? Canceled a ton of stuff. And that really is the way the world is now. It's these subscriptions that you don't think about. They get you in a moment, or they make it seem like you're just going to get a trial, and then somehow you get roped in and you get stuck. I told you about my experience with Disney Plus. I just wanted to watch The Mandalorian. Thought I canceled after 4 days. It was a 7-day free trial, and boom, it kept showing up month after month.
I get it. I signed up for a gym 10 years ago and I guess I didn't cancel it, Virginia.
Nor did you go work out.
You're right.
So one win for the gym.
Double loss for the bird.
How much was your monthly fee on that?
Of course I had to get the VIP package.
Yeah.
It's $20 a month.
Okay.
And we've done it at
you spent about $2,500.
Yeah, it's not right.
On something you never used.
And don't email me that I need to get my life together. I know. People email me that a lot.
Yeah. But you don't read your emails, so who cares?
I saw something really smart the other day, that this is kind of how they get you. There was a show that I wanted to watch. I heard some people talking about it. I'm like, oh, I want to see that. So I went in and I watched the first episode, and then it said, for the next episode, you need to get the subscription for $4.99 a month.
They roped you in.
And I went and I looked. They offer the first, third, fifth, 7th and 9th episode of the season for free. Every other episode you have to pay for, or you can't see it, but it's all linked by a story. So I could go to the 3rd episode for free, but I have no idea
what wrapped up in the 2nd.
I don't.
It's so annoying. It happens all the time, and you're right. It's like every other, or all of a sudden, episodes 2 through 5 you have to pay for. It's very bizarre.
It's a great way to get you. It's a great way to get you. So I'm always kind of trying to find the workarounds on that, because it is tough. I had that, I told you, with Breaking Bad spinoff, the Better Call Saul, where I'd watched it on Netflix, and then I got to the end of like season 4, and I'm like, where's season 5? I knew it was out. So I went to go check the on-demand. You had to pay for it.
Dang.
Yeah. In fact, I got an email from Austin. He said, I just noticed that Better Call Saul season 5 is available on Xfinity free on demand.
Okay.
So I might have to go check that out. So thank you very much for that little tidbit. But yeah, that's just kind of the way that they get you. So my wife started going through, and she was looking at all of our subscriptions that we had. And we had like Apple Music. I had my Duolingo Spanish language app. We had Mobile Passport, Microsoft 365. We had that. My daughter had the Visco video editor app. Had to pay for that. We had the HBO Max. the PixArt editor, Yarn Hooked, all these kind of like little things were just $3.99 a month that who even knew or that we were even using? Is that worth it? It just all starts adding up.
It adds up really quick.
Yeah. How many subscriptions would you say you have? Because my wife just kind of went on our Apple and was able to, go through the list and be like, okay, why do we have that? Why do we have that? Why do we have that?
Anywhere between 5 and 40.
Yes.
For
Narrowed
me.
it down?
Yeah. Anywhere between there, something like that.
I have like 6.
6?
And,
can you name them?
Yeah. I've got Netflix.
Okay.
I've got
That's
Apple
standard.
Music.
Yeah, I got that too.
I have those both.
Both of those, and that's the whole thing with these apps. Some of them are going, that's worth it. That, like, why do I even have that? That's the ones that I get angry at myself about. I'm like, why do I have that? I'm not even using that. I never would use that.
I have YouTube Red. But the one thing I will say about YouTube Red, if and I'm not sure, I know it works for a Mac. All I do, I get ad blocker and I install it, and it lets me watch all of my YouTube videos without any kind of commercial.
Really?
Yes. So you can get rid of the YouTube Red if you don't want to buy that anymore. I bought that because of Cobra Kai. That's what it offered.
And now it's
on
going
that.
to Netflix. So
I don't need
why
YouTube Red.
Yeah.
And I do the blocking.
But don't you like that it has no commercial? So that's not YouTube Red. That's the blocker. That's
No,
a separate.
YouTube Red does have that, but if you don't want to pay for that, just install ad blocker. I see why Kevin doesn't do it, because if he wants to, because every now and then a site you'll get onto his site and they'll say you can't go on because you have ad blocker on. But if you want to just watch YouTube, uninterrupted, just install that.
Okay.
We got Rocco that Xbox.
Yeah.
I bought it off of one of Magnolia's little friends who doesn't play with it much anymore.
Yeah.
And so we paid the kid $180 for the machine and the console and everything, which is way less than it would have been in the store. The bundles were like $300. So I was like, sweet, saving a little bit of cash. Do you know that you have to have a subscription for Xbox to play a lot of the games?
Yeah, but
and it's like $15 a month.
But I think you save money that way because you'd have to go out and buy all of those games, which is going to be $40 or $50. With the 15, you get to play all. It's almost just it's the same thing as Apple Music.
I don't want that. I don't want Apple Music of games, because after 3 or 4 months, it's going to add up. And he only wants to play one game.
Right.
They want to play Minecraft.
So can you not just get the one game without the subscription?
I don't know. I was in a wormhole of Xbox Live. I don't even like that concept where Rocco is playing with other people live.
Well, you don't have to have that.
I don't want that.
You don't have to have Rocco play live. But is what she's paying for, is it kind of like the same concept as Apple Music for her for video games?
For the Xbox?
Yeah.
So there's multiple ones. There's a service you pay for that you just rent games forever. And that's probably the one you're referring to, right?
I just want to get Minecraft once for him to play and have that be it. I don't want to have a revolving subscription where he's on live playing with other people.
You can still buy the regular ones. That's how I do it. I don't do the subscription base.
Yeah, I saw you getting all upset about it. You don't have to do all that. Just get the game and play it.
Well, Mags told me I had to do Xbox Live, and I'm like, no.
Because it's cooler and better. Yeah, I get why she wants it.
I guess
you're old and you don't know.
It's all his end game. If he's going to play with his friends, then you probably do have to get live.
He doesn't have any friends.
So if he's got no friends,
he's 5 and a coronavirus.
Then you could buy just the game.
And she's old and confused. So just get buy the one game.
How do I do that?
You are so old.
So old. Back in my day, there was a cartridge, and you would blow in it if it didn't work.
That's right.
You put it in the machine. There's no place to put a cartridge in this Xbox finagle thing.
Yeah, you're going to have to get it off the network.
What?
So you got to buy the game, but you can buy it once and be done with it.
What is this network,
You've
Denny?
never sound more out of touch. And that's coming from the out of touch guy on the show.
I don't even know where to find this network. Like, what?
Yeah, I'd have to see which model you got, because some of them still have a disc drive. I still buy discs.
What system did you actually get?
Xbox One, probably. If I had to guess, just based on...
If you held a gun...
Oh, boy.
If you held a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you what Xbox I got.
Yeah, I actually sat down, was doing a deeper dive with my son yesterday just to find out about all the gaming systems and what he has and what's going on. And I couldn't believe all the different ways you can pay additional money, especially in these sports games.
I told you.
And they were like $100.
What?
If you wanted to get like a certain player at a certain skill level. I'm like, wow, what a racket. And that was just one. And keep in mind, a team has 11 players, so you could spend $1,100, I guess, if you want to get a great team.
How do you think Jay Bird Pennington became MVP 7 years in a row on my video game? Because I put the money and time into it.
You paid?
There was like
it's not real.
2 years ago, I was in a real weird phase where I was taking a lot of time making my character look exactly like me. I put money into it. He had theme music. It was amazing.
He had no ass.
He had no. I deliberately made sure I put crow's feet really bad, and I had no ass, and I made myself have a belly. I made it so realistic, but I won MVP.
Okay, yeah, a lot of people are saying just go and you can get the game there, and you'll have just one quick trip into GameStop, buy the disc. It's not hard, they say. So,
all right.
Yeah, save you from those.
Can I get it? Can I have it delivered to the house? I'm not going in GameStop.
They might bring it out for you or something. Just call ahead. Work it out. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Yeah, if you are like Virginia and you're concerned about getting that coronavirus, I think this probably goes against everything that anybody who's trying to stay away from the virus would do. Jaber got himself a little bit of a long-distance booty call, Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah,
Who and how did it all go down?
It's a scam.
Is Jaber getting scammed with booty? Okay.
He's a vulnerable man right now. It's been a while since he's touched a booty.
You can hear it.
Oh, you can smell it. The smell of desperation.
All right, pipe down because you're starting to look good to me.
All right. So who's trying to go after our bird? Are they scamming him? We'll tell you the details next. Jaber got himself a digital social media booty call. Apparently there's some girl that wants to come and give him some love in Virginia.
Really?
So it was Saturday morning, and I get this message on my Facebook Messenger out of the blue.
Okay, talk slower.
And her name was Ashley Jessica.
Oh,
Ashley Jessica.
2 first names, first of all. And then she starts off with, hello, how are you doing today? So I'm thinking, all right, this might just be someone who listens to the program. I don't know. But how are you doing today? I go, hey, how's it going? And she comes back with, I want to know more about you. Do you mind telling me? So I'm like, all right, what's going on here? I look, and she's a good-looking girl, like smoking hot-looking girl. So you automatically know this is probably a catfisher. She says she's from Tampa.
Okay.
And that she wants to know more about me.
Don't we all?
And she goes, so when are you free for us to hook up? She's really escalating that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Just meeting somebody. Usually hot girls don't throw it out so quickly, Virginia.
They make you work for it?
Yeah.
Ashley Jessica giving it up too easy?
She says she's 30 years old. Now, you saw the picture.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She's definitely good looking. So I said, are you a catfisher? And she goes, why would you ask me that? I go, well,
why would you ask me that?
I go, well, because you're asking to hook up and see me, and you don't know who I am, and you've never met me before. And then she starts getting weird. She starts saying, well, I was gonna.
You love it.
No, because she goes, oh, I was gonna come visit because I'm from Tampa, but now I'm afraid you're going to hurt me. I was like, all right, this is getting odd. What the hell is this? And then so I said, well, what does that mean? And she said, this is she goes, I'm trying to find what she said. She goes, I'm not coming now. This is getting weird. And that's all that happened. And then this morning she comes back with, hey. So should I text her back, hey, to see where this goes?
Yes and no.
Right.
Yeah.
Part of me says yes. Part of me says no.
Okay. All right, hold on. Hey. She's online right now.
Will she FaceTime with you
That's
right
what
now?
we're trying to. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to put.
There's no way.
All right. You want to FaceTime?
I want to give you my number. Let's FaceTime right now.
Yeah.
If not, never contact me again.
I think you're talking to a Russian bot.
I think it's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really not a real person. I'm trying to get them to either admit it or.
How do you get the bot to crumble?
Yes.
Where they're like, oh, can't compute. You got me.
She responded to the hey. How are you doing today? Are you going to be free this weekend? I put what? Let's FaceTime right now.
Let's FaceTime right now. I want to see that beautiful face.
Let's FaceTime right now, Ashley, Jessica.
Yeah.
Let's face. Okay. They'll get scared.
Watch, her computer's not working. The camera doesn't work.
Well, I'm sure that the bot probably has some kind of automatic response when somebody asks to FaceTime.
But you're right, though. She'll be like, the camera. Something's wrong with the camera. Let's FaceTime right now. I want to see
that ass.
Virginia's got you covered over here. She's a wordsmith.
I'm a romantic.
Yeah.
Let's FaceTime right now. This weekend sounds great. I'll put.
This weekend's too long to wait. I need it now.
Should I give you my credit card number now?
Yeah, definitely.
Would you like my Social Security?
I would bet everything. I would bet my face. There's no way that's a real person. Because here's the trick too. If you look down on if someone comes at you and says, "Hey, what's going on?" and it looks too good to be true. Usually it is. Check to see how many friends they have.
Yeah.
If they only have 2 or 3 followers, they just made this account.
Yeah.
That's kind of
How many friends does she have?
It's looking like 7 dudes.
Yeah. She's a smoking hot girl, has 7
and she's looking for
guy
love,
friends.
and she's gonna drive from Tampa to.
I'm trying to figure out what the end game
Me
is.
too. Okay, she just hit back.
Yeah.
I said, let's FaceTime right now. This weekend sounds great as well. She goes, do you have Hangouts? Avoid the question.
Say let's hang out. Let's hang out on FaceTime, bitch.
Let's FaceTime.
I just asked you to FaceTime.
Yeah.
Let's FaceTime now. I put.
Yeah, that's not gonna go.
Do I have Hangouts?
Do I have Hangouts?
That's how you know it's probably a bot.
Of course,
because
it doesn't sound like a human
answering your question.
Yeah,
it's like. Yeah, you're in the world of bots.
Do you eat food? Yes.
Have you ever worn shoes?
Okay, she just responded. I go, let's FaceTime now. She goes, let's do that on Hangouts, okay? Let's do that on Hangouts. It's fake.
Yeah.
Is Hangouts an app?
Yeah, they're like Google Hangouts, yeah.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Gosh. Maybe she's real for Watch ends up being real.
If you can see a real life, real time video.
Be like, let's go to Google Hangouts right now. Just show me where.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see that ass. Tell her.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Does Jaybird have a girl in Tampa?
I mean, this could be your
real
future.
Girl.
This could be the future Mrs. Pennington.
I only brought it up because this is hilarious.
And we're bored.
Yeah.
Quarantine got us talking to bots.
It does.
And liking it.
You're
we know
right.
it's a bot, but we're still in it.
We're kind of excited.
That's all we got.
We're happy to have something.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
All right, she just sent me another text, Kev, and she said that she wants my email, so I sent her an email.
Well, wait.
Kevin Ralston.
Kevin Ralston at gmail.com. No, but if you click on something, she could be sending you something that gets in your computer.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
You can't click on anything. Just tell her to FaceTime you.
All right, we're out. Sorry, Kev.
That's okay. Want to see what this girl looks like? Is she living and breathing?
Is she gonna be the mother of your future children?
It's a cute picture, yeah, no doubt. They find hot pictures from somebody else's account somewhere else to use. They do a good job of that. Well, a little bit more mask insanity. Over in St. Pete, there was a guy that attacked a convenience store clerk when he told him he needed to wear a mask. Since 1989, this guy has served 5 separate state prison terms, totaling more than 10 years behind bars. So you never know when you're going to have an ex-con that doesn't want to wear a mask is going to attack you when you tell him to put it on.
He was already squirrely.
Yes.
The mask is going to make the squirrely people squirrelier.
Mm-hmm. Another one of those couples in Arizona that intentionally coughed on Walmart employees over being told to wear masks. They're one of the biggest hot spots in America, but that's how they're going to respond. Very nice. There's a person in their 30s that died from the coronavirus in San Antonio after they went to a COVID party to prove that the virus isn't real. Well, it showed them. And there's a 37-year-old veteran in Ohio who made some Facebook posts about how he refused to wear a mask. That guy just died last week. So
I saw that.
yeah, it seems like people that are wanting to taunt the virus die from the virus. They say now about 1 in 6 lawmakers in Mississippi have now tested positive for coronavirus after they kept meeting for weeks without masks to make a political statement about how you didn't need to.
Oh, boy.
Showed them. So, yeah, you're getting some evidence here. Apparently, the virus doesn't like to be taunted.
Yeah, that's what I'm picking up from this.
Yes. Oh, yeah? Let me show you. Well, tell me, would you go here, a strip club that doesn't offer any stripping? They know people were just jonesing for their strip club food, so they opened up as a restaurant with the dancers working as servers. But Jaber, I know you love a good strip club salad.
Oh, gosh. I do not. The runniest dressing ever.
Yes.
Well, we went to a very low-budget establishment when you had said dressing. There are nice establishments that have beautiful restaurants.
Oh, Rachel's.
Rachel's?
Has fantastic potatoes. Their mashed potatoes are mwah.
Monroe's has a whole private dining area that I am a big fan of.
Yeah, the steak's amazing.
High-end steaks and food.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a regular and you like going in there and seeing your favorite dancer, I think you would want to go. And
if they're a place that had good food, again, it depends upon the quality of strip club that you frequent.
Right.
So it just kind of depends. If it's a place called the Landing Strip, you probably don't want to go eat there. Just saying.
That thing burned down, Kevin.
Yeah.
It did burn down.
From God.
It burned down.
God's like, we can't have this on planet Earth.
Did lightning strike it or something?
It did.
Yeah.
I think it did, man.
It was our own Sodom and Gomorrah. In New York City, there's a problem with rats running around people's feet as they eat outdoors at restaurants.
Oh, that's not cool.
No, that's not good at all.
Can't they get them rat boxes?
I think they say the rats are going crazy because, less people, and so the rats are kind of taking over the streets in NYC.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Boy, this is a good timing. There was a woman that fainted at the wheel in New Jersey and crashed into a patio that was set up for outside dining. Fortunately, the restaurant was closed at that moment because of rain, so nobody was sitting there. But if they had, oh, man.
Oh, man.
Would have been bad timing. 62-year-old Adam Linhart from Marathon was injured on Friday after an iguana darted in front of his bicycle and got caught between the front tire and the wheel fork, causing him to crash.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he got thrown over the handlebars and onto the asphalt. The iguana wasn't as lucky as Linhart, who only needed stitches.
The iguana didn't make it.
No. And that's the second story coming out of the Keys about an iguana. There was the Boynton Beach firefighter and his family that wrecked because another car had stopped for an iguana.
Oh, man.
Those things are all over the place. Ever since Jaybird fed them pizza, they've been going nuts down there.
They love pizza.
Yeah, we know, but I think the blood's on your hands.
There's a lot of stuff on my hands.
How crazy is this animal attack story? A bear managed to open the door to a guy's house in Aspen, Colorado, and then went inside and attacked him.
I saw this video. Dude was sleeping, and then all of a sudden he woke up. He's like, what the hell is that noise in the living room? He goes out there, and the bear, swipes his face with his giant bear claw.
Yeah.
And the guy is, all stitched up now. His whole face got ripped open by the bear.
You see the one bear clip of it actually opening up the car door, getting into the car, then closing the door, and it wouldn't get out?
And then putting on the radio.
Driving away.
I'm not kidding you, though.
Dang, these bears are quickly catching up with us.
They are good, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening in not just bears, but apparently also in sharks. Scientists in Australia found a new species of shark they say can get out of the water and walk.
What?
That's just not playing by the rules.
Yeah, they walk on their fins, but apparently this new variety of shark has developed to the point where it can actually get out and walk. Now, they can't go very far, but they are getting out of the water and walking on their back fins now.
Could you imagine if they learned how to throw things or slap us? We get bitch slapped by a shark?
I don't know what's going on right now.
When you get land sharks and driving bears, we're in trouble.
The shark walks on his fins?
Insane. Well, apparently the humans are fighting back as there was a guy in England that got arrested this last week after he bit a seagull who tried to steal his Big Mac.
Wow, you got to be quick.
Snatched the seagull right out of the sky and bit it.
Dang.
And then they arrested him. Here's a guy that you wouldn't think has the right kind of weapon, but apparently he did. He had a pizza when somebody broke into his shop in Delaware. He was trying to close up. Somebody pulled out a machete and demanded cash. All he had was the pizza, and he threw it at the robber, and the robber actually took off running. Why do you get... if you have a machete, why are you scared of a pizza?
I don't know. You're probably on something.
Probably.
Yeah, not in your right mind.
Yeah. Here's a note to burglars. There's a guy in New York. He broke into 2 different restaurants and stole the cash registers. He got caught. His grand total take was $5. Apparently, they cleared him out for the night. Yeah, just a little note to the burglars out there. There's a guy who was learning how to drive by practicing in this parking lot in Penn Hills, Pennsylvania on Thursday night, and he wound up crashing into the building itself while practicing his driving. Ironically, that building turned out to be the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation's Driver's License Center. Luckily, nobody was hurt, but he's probably not going to get his license anytime soon. So there you go. That is some of your whacked out news. And coming up here in a couple minutes, did you guys hear that crazy thing going on with Wayfair over the weekend?
Yeah, what is all this about? Are they selling children on Wayfair?
That was the whole thing. Are they doing child trafficking on Wayfair, the app where you can sell and buy stuff? I'll let you know what the scandal was, and is there any truth to it or not coming up.
Check out KVJ TV on YouTube or just log on to kvjshow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Jaybird sure getting a booty call from some chick on Facebook from Tampa, apparently, that wants to meet. But you never know anymore because pretty much everything is a scam. There's somebody you've never met. She's not even a fan of the KVJ show.
It's a scam.
She just fished you out of the multitude of people on Facebook, and you're the one that she wants to be with.
Yeah, without knowing anything about me. While we were talking about that, what happened to Suits, too? He got one.
Oh, he did?
Really hot, smoking hot girl.
Yeah.
That
Same
one,
girl?
No, different girl.
Okay.
But just be careful out there, boys. I know you're locked up, you're horny, you're lonely. Mm-hmm. It's not real.
Well, a couple people were saying, too, that, if they want to go over to, like, the Google Hangouts, it usually requires your email address to get in there. And then as soon as you do that, then they have your email. And a lot of times they just need some kind of little entry to go in there and start wrecking your world.
Just a little entry, Virginia.
Don't click on anything she sends you.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, too, if you're on Messenger, why not just video chat there? That's what I do. You can call and video chat right there on the Messenger.
Oh, because they're lying.
Yeah. And it says, don't give her your cell or go to another app. Messenger can do it all. Okay. So if you are getting hit up by a Russian bot, that's what you do, apparently.
I like how you think it's definitely Russian.
It makes it sexier.
It does make it a little sexy. It does.
She's got an accent.
Mm-hmm. And somebody also suggested doing a Google image search for the girl's picture. See if it shows up under another person's social media account.
I saw. How do you do that?
It's a good question. I don't know.
That's a very good question. I want to know how many other sites this picture comes up on. Guarantee you it's a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the whole world. It's crazy. From not only people that are scamming you to there are people that legitimately, the whole trafficking thing is something that here in South Florida has been front and center with the Jeffrey Epstein story. And so many local girls were caught up in that. And then they had the arrest of the Ghislaine Maxwell. They've said the latest on her is they believe that she has tapes of 2 prominent U.S. politicians having sex with minors.
I think that's what Jeffrey Epstein used to do. He had like video cameras everywhere. Mm-hmm. And if he hooked up one of his sleazy buddies with his, entourage of young underage girls, he videotaped the sleazy buddy and then would use that against them if they ever wanted to try to take him down.
Like if Ralston did that and I was Epstein, like, okay, you wanna get cute with your words? Well, I guess what I have, Mr. Ralston, I got 3 hours with you.
That's how he's getting all those favors, because he's got blackmail on everybody.
That's crazy.
I can see that's how you keep people in line.
Well, that's what somebody said last week, was that everything that Epstein had, Ghislaine had made copies of it. So she has too.
Oh, wow.
All those tapes that he had.
Mm-hmm. Also, 4 more women have been accused of supplying young girls for Jeffrey Epstein because apparently he had recruiters, not just Ghislaine Maxwell. There were other girls that were doing that. Now 4 more women have been implicated in that. And you wonder why it took so long to find Ghislaine Maxwell. They say that she moved houses 36 times in a year before the FBI finally tracked her down.
But she's not a flight risk.
Jeez. I know, right?
Her attorney was trying to say, oh, she's not a flight risk.
Oh, her attorney was trying to say a lot of stupid stuff.
Dude, you're an idiot.
Well, over the weekend, maybe you saw some of the posts that were going on around Reddit and Twitter. Wayfair, I wasn't even really aware of them. My wife's like, oh, yeah, you can buy and sell stuff on there. It is, I guess, like a furniture company, and they had noticed that on their site, they were selling these overpriced cabinets with odd names that were matched up with cases of missing girls from across the country. That's at least what the posts were saying. The cabinets were priced from $10,000 to $15,000 more than the cabinets sold elsewhere. People are also finding basic pillows, rugs, and more selling for 5 figures on the Wayfair site, and also with obscure human-sounding names attached to them. And that's kind of what got the whole suspicion going on over the weekend. And I had a lot of people hitting us up with that, being, hey, you watching this? I'm like, yeah, I'm watching. I don't know what to think of it. When somebody contacted Wayfair, the overpriced cabinet suddenly disappeared from their site. Now, they have been a supplier to migrant detention camps on the U.S.-Mexican border, and that's where some of the internet sleuths had said, aha, this makes perfect sense. Wayfair said that there is no basis to the claims. They say that third-party companies also can list products on their site, and all the overpriced products come from other companies that they have nothing to do with. Now, the products in question are industrial-grade cabinets that are accurately priced. That's what Wayfair said on Friday. So they're trying to say that there's nothing to this conspiracy theory. They're not trafficking young girls on their site.
You trying to tell me that a cabinet is $15,000?
Well, they're just saying that they didn't control that, and they said that what they did have on there was accurately priced. That's how much you would pay for it. That's what they're trying to say.
For a cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
No. The picture I saw was like a basic metal locker size like cabinet. There's no way that thing sold for $15,000 normally.
Yeah, I saw that one too. That was the one that was the most convincing, but you never know what's doctored up and those kind of things. But it'd be interesting to see if any more comes out of it. Now, somebody's saying this isn't realistic, that this would be happening on the Wayfair site because of how much they police and look for human trafficking. There is a 2015 Vice report that revealed how swiftly sex trafficking traffickers change their domain names, even on the dark web, to ensure that they don't get caught. They're always kind of switching it up so they wouldn't be that cavalier to post on the Wayfair site. And Snopes right now is listing the whole story as false, if you believe that. So,
but who's going to fact check Snopes?
You're right. That's the question.
You know, we always go to Snopes for stuff, but what's Snopes got going on?
Anybody can be bought, including Snopes.
Mm-hmm. So that's what some of the people were saying. But right now, it's apparently listed as not true, but I'm sure people will keep saying, we'll see if there's any kind of investigation into Wayfair. And is that something that could be going on?
Well, if you want to drop $15,000 on a cabinet, I got some I'll sell you.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Is anybody is that a going rate for these industrial sized cabinets?
It's like a locker, y'all. It's a locker. It's like a locker size.
Yeah.
$15,000.
I've never been in the market for a big industrial sized locker, so I don't know.
That's good because you're not creepy.
Yeah, so there you go. Any thoughts on that? 877-979-WRMF. So would you say that 2020 is the worst year ever? I know a lot of people were saying that. You see it all over social media. Worst year ever.
Do you, when you ask that question, are you talking collectively as a species? Is it the worst?
Yeah, in the history of mankind, is 2020 the worst year ever?
It would definitely, there's debate of why it would be.
Yeah, I would say in our lifetime, 2020 arguably would be the worst year ever. But in the case of mankind, people are arguing, saying, no, not even close, actually. It may not even make the top 10.
Oh, if you look back in history, There was some horrific time periods for humans.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So if you need a little dose of gratitude to be like going, okay, all right, yeah, it may not be awesome, but it's not that bad. I'll give you the perspective next.
More KVJ Show right now on 97.9 WRMF.
See a lot of the hashtag 2020 worst year ever. Yeah, in your lifetime, probably. But in the history of mankind and the world, no, not even close. Even when you see that Florida hit 15,300 cases on a Sunday, we're still not even close to what is the worst year ever on record.
Yeah, maybe go back to medieval times. Ask some of those people.
Yeah, it was actually called the Dark Ages.
See if it was worse back then.
And there are 2 years that people are pulling out. The year 536 AD. Apparently, there was this inexplicable dense fog that stretched across the world, and it plunged Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia into darkness 24 hours a day for nearly 2 years. Imagine no sunlight for 2 years. That's what they went through starting in 536 AD. The temperature plummeted, too, and it was the coldest decade in over 2,000 years. That brought on famine. Also, crops were failing, and then and this went on for a while. This is like 4 or 5 years later.
4 years of fog?
Well, it was 2 years of the fog that started in 536, but then in 541, just 5 years later, they had the bubonic plague hit, and that killed 100 million people and almost half of the Byzantine Empire.
Byzantine Empire.
Boom.
Virginia.
Yeah, they say that's called the Dark Ages, and it was likely a volcanic eruption in Iceland started all the chaos. So imagine no sunlight for 2 years. Famine, bubonic plague.
Horrifying.
Yeah, that would probably make for one of the worst years.
When they start talking about the sun was shut out from the ash and all that, that's when it gets creepy.
Yeah, it was dark for years. What?
Crop failings, as Kevin said.
Yes. So those are 2 years, they say, easily beat 2020. The year 1349, the Black Death killed half the population of Europe. They say that beats 2020. The year 1520, they say smallpox ravaged the Americas and killed between 60 to 90% of the continent's original inhabitants. They say that probably beats 2020.
60 to 90%?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
60 to 90% of the inhabitants.
I mean, if you didn't get it, you were a lucky duck.
Oh, I know.
60 to 90? Well, first of all, 60 to 90, there's a big gap there, too, of 30%, which is a lot.
Records weren't great in the 1520s.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of a spitball.
Neither was bathing, I'd imagine.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. What would they use as soap? I don't know. I just feel like 1,500 old booty is pretty gross.
They say in 1918, the Spanish flu led to the deaths of over 50 million people. So, in the grand scheme of things, those right there are easily 5 years that beat 2020. So, I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah, positive K, everybody.
Yeah. There's also some really good stories, I thought, as far as even though we hear those crazy case numbers and you look at some of the hospitalizations and the death numbers, there were some positives that went down. And I thought this is cool. There's a company in Israel that's starting to test a breathalyzer that can detect coronavirus in 10 seconds. It's non-invasive and it's not painful.
In your breath?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds made up.
Coronavirus breathalyzer. We'll have to see. They got to produce the product, but they say that it's going to change the world of coronavirus diagnostics.
Huh.
Who knows when it will be ready, but apparently they're getting there. And they say at the University of Houston, researchers there have claimed to have designed a special air filter that can trap the coronavirus and blast it with heat that kills the disease on contact. 99.8% of it would be killed in this filter, and they say they could give it to airports, use it in airplanes, office buildings, schools, cruise ships.
Can I just make a bubble out of it and live in it?
I think you'd be able to go into all these places and not have to worry about getting coronavirus.
Those big hamster bubbles you see that people rolling, they're so expensive. I priced them for KVJ. It's too much money.
Yeah, tough to get around in too, I'd imagine.
It is, but it'd be fun for videos.
Okay.
Or events. Mm-hmm. Or just for the weekend.
Yeah. A couple of positives also that I saw, that the death count yesterday, we broke our string of 3 days over 90 in a row. That was kind of nice. The positivity rate, too, is down to 11.25.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Even though they had all those cases, it was explained by all the different, the new tests they've done, too. 142,000, almost 143,000 new tests. And they say good things in New York City. For the first time since March 11th, they had 0 confirmed or probable coronavirus deaths yesterday.
Wow, that's big.
So that might hopefully be us soon. And they say a hospital in Teaneck, New Jersey, that was described as the war zone by one of its doctors a few months ago, now has 0 coronavirus patients in it.
Wow.
So hoping that maybe in just 3 weeks or so, that's what some people were saying yesterday on the TV.
I remember when you said that 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping for better days ahead. So hopefully there's something positive that's going to be coming up. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, got a fun little snack. I don't know if anybody is into this for toppings for ice cream. Heinz was selling an ice cream kit that you could buy. Is there anybody that is eating ketchup with their ice cream?
No.
Does that even happen?
I mean, you can't say never because there's always some weirdo with a weird combination, and I get it. But I don't think you're going to see that commonplace.
It doesn't feel right.
It's pretty gross. I'm a fan of salty and sweet together.
Yeah.
But ketchup is almost a little too, I don't know, tomato-y.
Vinegary, right?
Yeah.
Is there any chance it's good?
There's always a chance. I'm not a Sith. I don't live in absolutes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll give it a shot here. Virginia's brought in a little bit of ice cream, a delicious treat for us.
It's just ketchup on it?
Well, we've got a few for you to sample. Kevin wanted multiple condiments flavored ice cream.
Yeah, because Heinz is offering different kits that has ketchup, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, salad cream, and saucy sauce, it's called.
Barbecue sauce, in my opinion, would be the best chance of a good ice cream out of all those.
Well, we don't have that one.
Of course. Okay.
We've got mayonnaise ice cream. And we've got horseradish sauce ice cream.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be good. Okay. We got a few things to try out here. And is there something odd that you have used for an ice cream topping? You let us know what that is. 877-979-WRMF coming up.
You know how you hear people on the radio and you're like, I wonder what they look like when they're saying that. I wish I could see them. Well, you can. We're right there on youtube.com/KVJ show.
Is there any chance that ketchup could be good on ice cream? How about mayonnaise or barbecue sauce? Heinz had a do-it-yourself kit they were selling in England that came with all these different sauces you could try out. And they say it was so popular that it sold out. I'm not sure I'm buying it, but they say the kits cost about $17 each, and they have no plans on selling it in the U.S., so this is your only chance to do it yourself.
You could do a barbecue with a chocolate or even maybe like a strawberry.
You think it might work?
I wouldn't prefer it, but yeah, I think it could work.
Any chance there might be an odd, flavorful response from having a little ketchup on your ice cream?
You have to go low on the ketchup and heavy on the cream and sugar.
Okay. Virginia's got a couple samplers here for you.
They look disgusting. They really
Okay.
do. This red one.
Yeah, don't let them know what it is. I want to see if you can tell what it is. That looks like the ketchup. Is there any chance that's any good?
It's pretty awful.
It's not good.
You went so heavy on the ketchup, dude.
Well, you know me, I'm a heavy-handed puller.
It's weird because it has a kind of a pleasant aftertaste. Going in,
if there was less ketchup, could it work?
If it's less ketchup, yeah.
Wow.
It wouldn't work good, though.
Okay.
It would be good if I was on an island and hadn't eaten in about 2 weeks. Then they'd be like, oh, this is good.
Try these and see if you can guess what they are.
What is that one?
Oh.
What is that?
It's horseradish.
It's horseradish.
The ice cream looks really good, though. What kind of ice cream do you have?
Vanilla.
Is that the homemade stuff, or is it?
No, it's store-bought.
Oh, okay.
You actually make great homemade ice cream.
I know. It takes like 5 hours.
Do you want some of this, Fat Kevin?
That's got sugar, I'm sure.
Oh,
Tons
no.
of sugar. Yeah.
Oh, boy, a bite of this. I can't have that.
You got to try this one and see how this is.
What is that one right there?
This is the mayo.
That's the mayo ice cream.
There's no way that's because it's like a sour and. Okay, which one was the worst?
The mayo.
The mayo's the worst. Mayo ice cream is terrible.
He can't even swallow it. He had to get up and run to the trash can.
The mayo's the worst.
Mayo I used to love mayo growing up. I don't know what happened. I just flipped, and now mayo disgusts me.
It's a weird thing. Is I do like mayonnaise, but I like it only on a sandwich. And if I think about it, it grosses me out. And for the first time in my life, I'm noticing that mayo is getting in my head. If you leave it out, it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to eat it quick, and it's got to be sparse, I think.
What about Tabasco ice cream? Somebody said I got that in New Orleans one time, and it was actually delicious.
I hate that comment and that ice cream.
I can whip you up a batch. I have some.
I don't want it.
I have some still left over.
I hate Tabasco so much.
Okay, how about pancake syrup on ice cream?
Okay, now that's going to be delicious.
Yeah, somebody said that's pretty good. In fact, you can make it into like a snow cone. And
You can actually sprinkle little bits of bacon with maple syrup on a vanilla ice cream.
That does sound amazing.
That's lovely.
Bacon and sausage actually could work in ice cream, believe it or not.
Sausage?
Yeah, little sausage chunks. Not kidding, dog.
Sausage chunks?
Sausage chunks.
Pickle flavored ice cream. Somebody's tried.
Pickle?
Yes, because the sweet and the salt will work together. But I feel like frozen pickle might turn your stomach.
Okay. And somebody else said, how about putting jelly on it?
Oh, jelly on ice cream is a great idea.
Yeah.
I would love a jelly roll.
Oh, Martha
With
Stewart
scoops of ice
was
cream.
talking about this homemade black raspberry jam she makes, and it just made me so hungry for like homemade preserves and jam on ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of fancy. Sounds kind of annoying. Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right, Jaybird, wrap us up with your thought for the day.
Do you want that poem, Virginia, or do you want like a wise statement?
I want a poem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you asked for it.
Aren't you Professor Poetry Face?
Yeah, it is one of my fake names. We are stars wrapped in skin. The light you are seeking has always been within. Oh, you little star.
That's nice.
It's beautiful.
It is. All right. After the show podcast, Facebook, 10 minutes. We'll see you there.
Want more KVJ? Check out the KVJ Show podcast and After the Show podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.